Vraxia churns endlessly, a mechanical beast chewing its own tail, convinced it's a feast. Towers of brass and glass rise high into the smog, their edge catching the moonlight like the teeth of a saw. Steam escapes from hidden veins in the streets below, curling upward as ghosts trying to flee a city that keeps them bound. The streets hum with motion, the frantic pulse of gears and engines pretending they're alive, as if noise could replace meaning. Two figures stand on a neighboring rooftop, cloaked in the smog of a city that wouldn't seem to know they exist. The taller one, still as the moon itself, their metallic cloak catching faint streaks of light through the haze. Beneath their hood, smooth lines of soft light trace their face, flowing like streams on a map only they can read. They are calm, unshaken, as if this rooftop were the only solid ground they've ever known. The shorter one shifts constantly, arms crossed, pacing the edge of the rooftop. Their patched cloak flutters sharply in the polluted breeze, each step like a defiant challenge to the city below. Jagged lines on their skin seem to cut against the air, their presence sharp and restless. Following the taller one's gaze across the gap, a private hall blazes with golden light. Behind massive stained glass windows, a dinner party unfolds. Men and women, swathed in brass and velvet, toast to their own importance, their laughter rising like flames from a fire they themselves are feeding. The shorter figure ceases pacing to stand dangerously close to the edge, as if to challenge the wind itself. They don't even know what's happening. They rarely do. This is ridiculous. Miles away, lands are on the brink of collapse, and here we are watching them drink wine. Here is where we were sent. We shouldn't be here. We should be watching the Child of Flame, or the one Undulith controls, or somewhere that matters. The taller one tilts their head slightly. This matters. Does it? The shorter one throws up their hands, pacing again. They think they're untouchable. They toast to their progress, refusing to notice the sand clinging and digging between their damned golden cobblestones. Most won't see the end coming before it does. The shorter one stops, turning sharply towards the taller figure. You say that like it's fine. Like it doesn't make your skin crawl to stand here and watch it all fall apart. It doesn't. Convenient. The taller one doesn't respond. They're calm, unbroken. The shorter figure steps closer, their voice rising. You'd rather be here, wouldn't you? Far from the war brimming, far from the fire, far from the light. They stop mid-sentence, watching the taller figure closely. For the first time, the stillness shifts as the taller one finally turns to their partner, face shrouded now in shadow. The light isn't ours anymore. But it was. They were. And they're out there now, twisting and defiling everything and everyone they touch. The taller one straightens, the faint glow under their hood brightening. The light is beyond our reach. Because we abandoned it. Because it is no longer ours to hold. The shorter one shakes their head, stepping back towards the edge of the rooftop. It's easy for you to say that. I know this isn't the first time you saw a world fall to itself, but why? Why stay here? The taller one gazes towards the moon, faintly visible through the smog. Here is where the threads cross. And everyone else, everywhere else, they're fraying. To pull at the threads is to tear the weave. The shorter one leans against the edge of the rooftop. And when the princess and the primordial champion fall to him, when the child burns too bright, when the drowning ones sink the islands for good, we just watch that too. We observe. We report. And we let it happen. The taller one faces forward again, looking back towards the glowing hall. What else would you have us do? The shorter one doesn't answer, their fists clenched at their sides. Laughter bursts through the closed windows from the hall. Below, the streets hum with the rhythm of the city, endless and exhausting. The shorter figure crouches down, dusting away the sand on their boot. I hate this. The waiting. No. The knowing. Time passes as the wind suddenly stirs, scattering smoke and ash between the towers. There is a dull flash of white-blue light, and in an instant, the rooftop is empty. Its watchers gone.